day, everybody. I just want to share my recipe because it is just fantastic, actually. I used to always bring back Aunt Jemina mix for the kids because it does melt in your mouth and it is delicious. But once I found out that these things had GMOs in them, I had to find another solution because we all know GMOs not good for you. Okay, and I found this recipe, oh gosh, about 4 or 5 years ago on Pinterest, and I use it till this day. So I prepare this butter for the pan, but also I prepare it to put into the mix when I'm ready. First thing I need to do is to shift, and I broke my shifter, shift flour. And I do this here with this really cute thing. And I tried to mix whole meal flour and normal flour. You know, whatever I have around. But I do try to mix it up just to make it a little bit more wholesome. And I noticed that it doesn't affect it at all. What I do when I shift this, actually it takes out the thicker kind of granulars to make sure of the flour, and so it won't be so heavy. I mean, these are really light and everybody in my family loves them. I mean, I love them, but you know, you get more fun making them for people than you do actually eating them for yourself. Now you see how that's mostly kind of the whole meal stuff, and then you get really fine. Shifting, I've tried to do this without shifting, and I felt that it's not as good if I don't shift. So if you see, I'm going to pour these heavy oats. You can use them for something else. And then I'll show you the, oh, I'm using also this self-raising one, wholemeal perfectly baking. And then I'm going to use some normal flour just to bring it up to a cup, which is 250 milliliters. So I'm at about 200 now. Yep. So I'm going to just shift this in. I searched all over for an old-fashioned shifter and then in the States, and then it broke. And you can't buy them here. But I like this plastic thing. It's worked well for me. I love it. Okay, so that's what I need. It's about, yep, it's a little less than 200. It's 8, yeah. So it's enough. So I'm going to transfer it into my bigger bowl because I need to put all the dry things together, because I like to use this to make my buttermilk. And how I do that is to just put normal milk in, a little bit more, and then the trick is to use, I use lemon if I don't have this available, but the best way is to use this Bragg's organic apple cider vinegar, or any apple cider vinegar, I guess. But like I said, sometimes I'll squeeze a half a lemon in there. And really, literally, oh, I should shake it up first, mind you. You should shake it up first. See there? Shake, shake, shake. And I pop this in. Just literally, that's it. And when I'm ready for it, it should start to bubble up. Yeah. Usually I can do that 20 minutes before, but you know, really does make. Hey Farida, hi darling, thanks for joining me. So yeah, I'm gonna put the replay on my Life as a Hat Party channel. So what I put in, so I just put in apple cider vinegar, but you can put, to make this into buttermilk, or you can buy buttermilk, or you can put lemon in there. And then I pop my eggs in. Is it still hot? Oh, it's hot. 1 egg. I always like to put an extra 2 eggs in, so an extra 1 egg, sorry. So normally if I have a cup of flour, then I'll put a cup of milk, and I'll put 2 eggs in because it's like 1 egg for each cup of milk and ingredients. And then I will put my butter in there. Just a little bit. Whatever I have, just to make it ready. There you go. Then the old trick, so how I grew up with, is to have a little paper towel and then to keep this when you cook. So I just use this to soak up the, oh, it looks like the butter. And I keep that to the side so that it's easily accessible to me when I'm making it. Okay, so what goes into the dry thing? So what we have here, I hope everyone's having a good day. Thank you for joining. Is a little bit of salt. I like to, you know, I use kind of what's called sea salt in my house. So I just crumble. I'm going to crumble that in there. I mean, that can be normal. It's just to have a little edge on it. Then I have baking powder, and I always have to remember that you put in less baking soda than baking powder. So it's a teaspoon of baking powder and a 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda. Yeah, bicarbonate of soda. There. So I'm going to measure that in to, to my mix. All my little measuring stats are at my mother's. So yeah, I'll just put a little bit in there. Like I said, a 1/2 teaspoon. Where's the teaspoon? Here. Is a 1/2 teaspoon? Like that of baking soda, because that's like a baby teaspoon, and a whole teaspoon of baking powder. Actually, I gotta know, see, this is the fresher one, Dr. Oetker. It doesn't matter, we got quite a few in the house. Even sometimes, you know how that stuff stays around for ages. If it's a little bit old, I will just use double the amount. But this isn't old, I know this is fresh. But I did have an old one kicking around. So yeah, the magic starts in a minute. Also, what's important to do is to put your plates in the oven at a low temperature, and your syrup if you can. I use my espresso machine metal little holder to put the syrup in, so that's nice and hot. I mean, you know, nobody in my family's happy if I don't do that. And also what I do most of the time, I'm not really proud of it, but it does give it the right kind of twang, is I will put a little actually it's a tablespoon of powdered sugar if I have it. Now if I don't have it, I won't put it in there. Yeah, that's too much. Powdered sugar. So I'm mixing this all up in here. And we've got 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda. We've got 1 teaspoon of baking powder, 1 tablespoon of powdered sugar. And that's it. Okay, so what's going to do is to make a well here. So it's ready for the mix. And you don't stir it a lot. We're going to get going right away. You'll see. So that's bubbled up a bit. So I just dump it like that so that the eggs integrate with the milk. Just like that. Gentle with the mix. That's the most important thing. That's enough. Okay? And can you see? Okay. Then I'll start to pour this in bit by bit. And see if it's lumpy. I will take a break and just make sure, you know, I don't want to integrate it all at once. I'm just bit by bit because I want to see the interaction. I want to see the bubbles in it. I want to make sure it comes out of the whisk as well. Then once I feel it getting dry, I'll put the rest in because things happen quite quickly. It's just at the beginning. Now I'm going to turn the pan back on because the first pancake is always a bit finicky and you want the pan to be hotter than you have it when you do the other pancakes. Okay, so here we go. We're mixing that up. There. See how, I'll show you quick slowly. See how lumpy it is? That's okay. You don't want to mix it till it's super smooth. Of course you don't want the flour trapped in sides. You want it to be touched by everything. So there. You see, if you see bubbles, you know you're doing the right thing. And you can always mix it as well more. And I also sometimes add more sugar. More milk. It depends on how thick it is. So it's ready to start. You see that the pan is hot. I have it at 7. This is the induction head. I'm going to turn it down. My number is, I use between 5.5, 6. Ooh. There we go. And it doesn't matter. I'll just scoop that up, that extra butter up with this. Thank me later for it. And I will just pour. Let's see. Here we go. And it really doesn't matter if it's bumpy. Now that seems, it's like it's not hot enough. You see right away. I turned it up to 6 now. What is that? Okay. It's pretty curious. Let's see. So the main thing is, I'm probably not going to show. The main thing is to wait till these bubbles start to pop. See? You know that you've done the right thing. You've done the right thing. And you wait for that. Get your spatula on the ready. Yeah. So like I said, I turned it down to 6. The first pancake sometimes will not be perfect. So, yeah, I don't know. You can research about GMOs, but they're not good for you. And I was kind of really devastated when I found out that my favorite pancakes that I've had since I was a little girl, and actually, mind you, when I was little, they probably didn't have GMOs in them. I think it's just 10 to 15 years ago that America allowed GMOs without saying that they were in certain foods into the food chain, and found out that, that the Aunt Jemina had quite a few GMOs in there. So I immediately stopped, but I was missing these melt in your mouth pancakes. So I searched wide over the internet and tried different recipes. This one I actually found when I was in America, and I found this on Pinterest from a blogger. Yeah, I mean, I have a Pinterest, so you could probably find it on there. So here you see it's popping up, and the first one will take longer, so you don't think, oh my God, I need to take it out now. No, you don't. Hello, thanks for the shout out. Ooh. See this one, I swear to you, you will see how the first pancake looks rubbish basically. But you will also see how the pancakes that come after this one look amazing. So I always call this is the sacrifice. I call a lot of things sacrifices. Let's see. Come on. People are waiting. Yeah. because it just makes a good example, because you see it's dried out. You see there's bubbles even to the edge. So you know it's ready inside, which is the main thing, right? You don't want like unfinished pancakes. So this is what the first pancake looks like. But you can tell if it has the right amount of bubbles that it's going to be light and fluffy. I want to pick up, I don't want that butter to burn, so I will pick that up with my little butter paper cloth. And then I don't push down right away because I want it to rise again. So I lift it up there. Hi, Jarmo. Thank you for joining me. So this is the first pancake. I'm going to put this whole recipe on my Life is a Hat Party website. YouTube. So you will see. This is the first one that doesn't really show how amazing these pancakes are. But the next one will look picture perfect, promise. Which comes. So basically, I don't have time to wait. So what I usually do, I've got my plate in the oven. I'll pick this up. I'll move this around, pick up excess, put some in the middle, take my other hand, pour the next one in. See, now it sounds like it's supposed to sound. Turn down a couple of notches to 5. It was on 6, so that's 5.5. And I'm just going to go over to my oven and put this pancake that I took out into the oven where the plate is waiting for it. So that's how I have to do it, because otherwise the butter burns in the pan and the temperature changes too much. So yeah, I'll do that again because my mother kind of likes 3 of these pancakes. So here we go. We're going to wait for the bubbles. This is the second pancake, so it should do me proud and have that gorgeous looking pancake look that you see on commercials or advertisements. So yeah, maybe I turned it down too much. So I have 5.5, 6. So I did the first pancake on 6. I had turned it down to 5, but I'm going to put it back up to 5.5 because I see it's going slowly, because actually it should be quicker than this. So we're waiting for these bubbles to pop, and more importantly, we're waiting for the bubbles on the outside to pop. And it can go from 1 minute to the next, literally. So the recipe from the beginning, I'll have to put it somewhere. I can put it actually a link to the recipe that I got from Pinterest. But of course I added, you know, my own little bits and pieces to it. So I think it's time to look at this. It was good if you have a mirrored spatula. Ooh, as you can see. Ooh, so it's definitely time to turn over it, and it's a bit too hot. So see, look at those perfect pancakes. A little down, but I'm going to turn it down again. So I let it rise a little bit before I pat it down. So just say a few seconds till I see smoke a little bit. Then I just pat it tight, you know, like, because I like not super thick. It's not a crepe. American pancakes. It's not thick like Scottish pancakes or Miss Butterworth pancakes. I don't like super thick ones, but I do want them to melt in my mouth. I don't want to feel like I'm eating cake. So like I said, this is the most important part. So this is more or less ready, you know, because I let it cook at 5.5. So how do I do it? I'm ready. What I'll do literally is I'll take the whisk, just stir up. Actually, I could even go, should I go just a little bit of milk? Because it just feels heavier, or maybe because I've used some of it already. Okay, so that's ready to go in. With one hand, my left, I'm right-handed, I will lift this up so it doesn't become overdone. Catch the butter from the outside, rub it on the inside, and immediately pour the next batch in. Yeah, and this is going to go really fast. Now I'm just putting the second pancake into the oven so that they don't get cold, because there's nothing like cold pancakes. That's bad, very bad. Okay, so this seems like it's going to go really quickly. It's on 5. Everything, the pan is hot. The butter is hot. It's the right temperature. I just feel like my sauce isn't as good. I mean, I didn't like, but you can always go in. So catching it from the side. This is how it should look. Not perfect. Yeah. You don't want it smooth like cake batter. Okay. There. So I've done a little bit with that. That must be some powder underneath. So it's popping. This is the last pancake, you guys. I'm going to show you. Then I'm going to plate it up for you. And then I'm going to give it to my mommy. And then I'm going to make some for myself. Then I'm going to sit down. Then I'm going to go have a coffee. Or will I have time to have coffee? Then I've got to put some more stuff on Amazon. Ooh, see? Okay, we don't want it to be overcooked. Because I like them pretty like tan. These are a bit extreme. I think, see? Ooh. So at this point, I will, just give me a couple seconds, turn my pan off. Yeah, because it's the third pancake. It's hot. It's ready. And I'll go get my plate. This is the fun part. Ooh. I love cooking programs. That's why I had to do this. And my channel is all about handmade. This is my business channel. And I don't, because of branding and because I asked them when they were interested in the YouTube Live members, if they could sort out my branding channel because it was confusing. So, you know, I'll try to integrate these videos into like my Life as a Hat Party, which is about how I escaped to Periscope land due to the duties of caring for a dementia parent. And because I don't get to travel that much anymore. And then the first YouTube channel, also known as Cloudette, is the one that I use for astrology and clouds. And I did do a Periscope telling why I need 3 channels, and I might post it on one of my videos. So without further ado, I will show you exactly what's going to happen next. Of course, I can't find my thing I need. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Okay, so here we go. I'm gonna take this out. It's ready for Freddie. There's 3 pancakes. Gonna put that butter on there and start to melt. Mind you, it's nice and hot. And my syrup is nice and hot too, which I'm getting out of the oven. And I pour the syrup around the pancakes because I don't want them to soak up. Oh, music is playing. I wonder, can you hear that? Okay. I love this song by David Bowie. Okay, this is the warm syrup. I'll put a little bit on there. And just around. There you go. Oh, I should cut a little bit to see. On Potsdamer Platz. David Bowie, we miss you. Okay. Just so you can see what they look like inside. Oh, don't do that. Oh, yeah. I used to go to that club in Berlin. I love this song. Give me back 20 years. Be nice. Oh. It's very precarious how I put this on top, but I didn't want to mess up the studio. See? They are thin and yummy and picture perfect. Ah! I gotta go. Okay, practice is perfect on YouTube. Thank you. have a brilliant weekend, everyone. Thank you for joining. Chapeau Claudette, also known as Claudette. I'm gonna eat these. Yum. You want some?